Hey everyone, welcome back to Evony with Genghis. Big shout out to Bad Story Dan for the idea for today's video. So he was messaging me and he's like, have you seen how big of a ripoff this new duty officer Stilchko is? And I was like, yeah, like everything in Evony's a ripoff. But I didn't think it was that bad until we did the math together. And so first I'm going to show you how much he costs. So he's in the event section here. So you could get him before in the full cake. So he'd be the final general in this, where is it here? So Ekaterina's Garden's really cheap, right? If you did, so he would be here, but in the full cake, so $2,000 you'd get him. Now, he's also available in this event. They did this for, what was it, like the Darwa New Year's in India. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. And anyways, they did this for Ashoka. Now they have it, the Delphic Oracle for Stilchko. But it's a way worse deal. I think for Ashoka, it was something like spin 70 times and you get him on 71st time. This one is 240 times you have to spin. I luckily got one of him and then it resets. So then you got to go 240 again. So I'll show you how I got him. I got really lucky. I wouldn't buy this big $100 pack. So I bought these $1 packs and I bought 10 of them. And I used a double coupon on 2 or 3. So I bought 12 or 13 spins and I got really lucky and I got him. He's awesome. He's a stables officer. But if you do the math of how much it's going to be to get him, right? If you just pretend you don't get lucky at all, you're going to have to buy this 100 pack. So these 30 spins right here, this 300 right here, Glory of Astrius, that's 30 spins. You can only use a double coupon 10 times in an event, right? Or 5 times in this event because we only got the one weekend. So let's just pretend we do the math without any of it. So $100 for 30 spins. That means you're going to have to do that 8 times to get him once. So that's $800 per time. And you need 15 of him. And you could double a little bit. So you're looking at about $12,000 to get 15 copies of him to fully ascend him. If you get lucky a little bit, like maybe you catch him like I did. I got him on like this, something like, the 21st spin or something. So I didn't have to do all 240, but it reset. So, you might get him sometimes at like spin 120, 80, but sometimes it's going to take you 240 spins. So you're looking at a minimum to get him, probably something like $7,000, $8,000 to get 15 of him, because that's how many copies it takes to be able to fully ascend. So let's do the math to compare Stilchko versus Oleg. Is Stilchko a $12,000 improvement on Oleg? I've already done the math, but I'm just going to show you briefly what they both look like, what they both contribute, and then I'll show you little notes that I made on what they actually add up to when they're both fully ascended with 15 copies, and I'll let you decide if this is a good $12,000 investment or do you want to buy a car. So let's look at it. So Stilchko, I did a video on this before. Basically, these are your luxury brand duty officers. So he increases mounted troop attack 15 and then defense HP 10. And then this is nothing. This spec is nothing because it's not applied to the stable officers. This one says applied to stable officers. So you get 20% speed, 20% capacity for training. This one is applied to the stable officers. So same thing, 30 speed, 20 extra attack. And then when we look here in the Ascension, Stilchko gets really nice. Like he helps every kind of troop. And you're going to notice when you're slumming it up with the poor man's duty officers, they pick 2 troop types and they only help them. But he helps all of them. So he does all troop defense, HP 15. Get him another star. He helps your speed. He does some debuffs. All sorts of stuff. You could just do that. I don't need to read it all. Now we go over to Oleg. The Russian. Surprised Evony hasn't removed the Russian column here from the game. Renamed them all. It's offensive. And then we got mounted troop attack, and defense and HP, 5 each. Where if we remember Stilchko just a few seconds ago, he was 15 attack and then 10-10. And then if we look here, none of these matter because they're not applied to stable officer. This one is 2020. So same thing, I believe. And then this one is training speed and capacity instead of training speed and attack. And then when we look to lift him up here, ascend him, you can see he does in-city ground and mount. And then that's a theme if you go down. He does in-city ground and mount. And some of the other ones, like Johnny Portugal, I believe he does siege and range. But no one does all of them except for the luxury brand ones. So you obviously would prefer Stilchko, right? Like, he's a big improvement. It would be nice to have him. But how nice would it be to have him? So let's look at what you get for $12,000. So Oleg will give you 15% for mounted troop attack, defense, and HP. And if we look down, Stilchko is going to give us 50% attack and then 25-25 for defense HP. So 35% more attack for mounted and then 10% more defense and HP. Training speed of troops, Oleg actually beats him by 6, so 86-80. Oleg also beats him by 10% in training capacity, 60-10-50. Now, the big difference is in city, Oleg will do 40% ground and mounted troop defense and ground and mounted troop HP by 35. Looking at that, ground HP, ground defense, mounted HP and defense, they're all pretty important for defense, for your defending city. The mounted stuff's more important, but ground is important. Stilchko will give you in-city all troops 40-40. So the same for ground and mounted. And then he adds that 40-40 for siege, which is super important. It really is important. And for archers, not so much. So you're basically getting 80% more of really important stuff on the siege, and then 5 more horse HP, which is important for sure. Then he gives you 30% debuff, 15 against all defense, all HP. So, if you add this up, it ends up being, about 150% total buffs in Stilchko's advantage, but some of those are kind of wasted because you don't really care too much about the range HP and defense, so you could drop it down right away and say it's about 80 or 90% important buffs that are better. So let me know. What do you guys think? Is Stilchko worth $12,000, or would you rather have a car? Like, you get a nice used car. Used Porsches go for like $20,000. Like, if you're gonna get like a 7-8-year-old Porsche, like, it'd be a lower end one, like a Boxster, something like that, but you could get it for like $20,000. So if you don't buy Stilchko this event, and then maybe next time this event comes around, and who's Evony gonna offer us there at a luxury duty officer? Maybe they'll offer us Otto the Great or Maurice Nassau, right? Let's look at them down here. They're nice. They're super nice. But are they much better than Mansa Muhammad or Mansa Musa, those type of guys? So here's Maurice of Nassau, right? He's the Archer Tower officer. He's pretty good. But you could have Ban Chao. Where's Ban Chao? Is he in the Chinese area? They changed the appearances. Here he is. Ban Chao's pretty cool. He's got some sort of, a crown and a staff. That'll impress all the ladies when you show him at the bar. Plus, you'll be pulling up in your Porsche Boxster, right? Because you just got 2 poor man duty officers. Anyways, let me know in the comments which ones you, which choice you would rather have. Ban Chao and Oleg and a Porsche Boxster, or would you rather have Maurice Nassau and Stilchko? This has to be one of the worst priced events Evony's ever done. The least they could have done was said, okay, when you do 240, you get them every single time after. So like, you paid $500 and you're going to get him. Something like that. Or maybe even up it just the price of a cake. 2,000, you get them all. Done. But $12,000. Wow. Good stuff, Evony. Like, subscribe, leave a comment.